Hey everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic. I've got a video for you today on a 2013 Chrysler 300. I'm going to show you step by step how to remove the front headlamp assembly. And with that, we're also going to have to remove the front bumper cover assembly. So I'm going to show you step by step what you need to take loose, where everything's going to be located at, and what things you need to pay attention to so you don't cause any damage to the vehicle. So with that, let's go ahead and get this thing started and let me get my hands dirty. In order to get started on getting this front bumper cover off, we've got a total of 8 plastic push pin style fasteners. I've already got 2 of them off. I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. This is basically how they go is they squeeze down. As they squeeze down, they expand the bottom, and that's what keeps it in place. They're kind of like a plastic rivet, but these are actually usable. And this is actually a tool I like to use to take them off with. Let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of them off and show you real close. So what I do with this little metal trim stick is I like to get up under the edge. There's going to be one way you can go. The other side, you're going to run into the corner of it. It's going to be a little hard. But there we go. We've got up under it. We can start wiggling it up. Now they make other tools for getting this loose, but the problem I've seen is most of them grab. A lot of them like to grab by the outside edge, and when it does, it kind of dishes it and kind of damages it. I like to get up under it and as close to that center shaft as possible to pull it up. So now we'll move on to getting all 8 of them loose, and then we'll go to the next step. Now that we've got those push pins out of the way, we need to go ahead and start getting this upper black piece pulled up from the radiator support. Now it's going to stay with the bumper cover, but as we pull up, we're going to unsnap this corner. Some people say I'm a little too rough. Unfortunately, you've got to unsnap this, and it does take some force. So I'm not being too rough on purpose. It's just that's what's required to get it loose. So you got to work this plastic cover off this rubber bumper stopper. As you start getting it up, you'll start pulling in that corner. There we go. We done popped it loose. So now, upper corner is loose from the fender itself, and we'll repeat that on the other side as well. Now we've gone ahead and raised the vehicle up so we can gain access to the plastic rivets, or I call them the push pins, the reusable rivets like we had up above, but we got a few of them down the side we need to get to. Each fender well opening has 3 on the outer lip, 1, 2, and 3, and then along the lower edge where the lower belly pan goes, I'll show you in a minute, there are another 3. So we got 6 that we're going to be taking loose from this side, and then we'll do the 6 on the other side. Now earlier I couldn't really show you, but now that I've got it up, I'm going to pinpoint a few items. We got these 3 push pins off the fender well liner. Now as I mentioned, there was a total of 3 more that go along the front air dam assembly where it goes to the fender well liner. Here's one of them. We got one here. There's number 2, and then number 3 is going to be back over here. So that's the 3 that I spoke about earlier. And it's the same way on the passenger side as it is on this driver's side. So we got the 3 down here, 3 on the other side. Now we've got those push pins out. Like I said, the push pins are basically the same style as what was on top, the upper radiator support, so they come off the same. Now we've got to separate this black fender well liner from the front bumper cover. One slides into the other. Mainly the reason why we got to do it is because we've got a 10mm bolt back behind here we got to get access to. So once again, I'm trying not to use much force, but I got to have required to use some force to get everything loose. So don't think I'm trying to be too rough. You can try pulling that inward while you're pulling out on the bumper cover, because one slides into the other. As you can see right here, the bumper cover itself slides directly into here, and that's what keeps that in place. And then now we got to get to our 10mm bolt here and on the other side as well, and that will help finish up what we got to do in the fender well opening. So at this point, we've already gotten rid of the 2 10mm bolts, one on this side and one on the other side. Now in order to get the front bumper cover separated from the rest of this fender right here, we need to pull towards the rear slightly, because the plastic stud that 10mm went through actually protrudes through the bumper cover slightly. So we've got to kind of lift it up over, and when we do, we're going to grab closer up to where this fender is right here, and we're going to start unsnapping it. So there we've got that loose. We've got the upper portion where the radiator support's loose. Now we can start working underneath. Now I'm going to be leaving the front lower air dam attached to the front bumper cover. Try to take everything off in one piece. That way it's less things I got to put back together. Now, we've got two 10mm bolts located here and here. These are the same two that you'd be taking loose if you're taking the lower engine cover off in order to do an oil change. We're not worrying about the rear, we're just going to take the two front ones off. Now that we've got those off, we've got 3 more push pins. A little smaller diameter head on these. One here, here, and here. Once we get those loose, the lower air dam is going to be loose. We've already loosened up the sides and the top, and then we'll get a lot closer to go ahead and pulling this front bumper cover off. Now we're going to use our basic trim stick that we used earlier. Get up in here. I say trim stick, it's more of a fastener remover. You can use it for a trim stick if you want. Unfortunately, it's metal, and metal has a tendency to scratch, so if you're going to use a trim stick, make sure it's plastic. These work perfectly for this. So now, as you can see, lower air dam's loosened. We're about ready to start pulling this front bumper cover off. We're going to go ahead and lower the vehicle back down so we can get to a comfortable height and start on that.